For our fifth and final talk for the day, our final speaker is the chairman of the board and of the Alliance of Digital Finance Associations. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to present RCBC Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer, Lito Villanueva.
Thank you so much, and of course, hindi papahindian ang imbitasyon ni Clink at of course si Blanca. At sabi nga nila, there's no such thing as free lunch. That's why dapat magtrabaho dito ngayon. Again, good afternoon to everyone, and of course to most of you here who are practically familiar faces. Thank you most especially to the Manila Times for inviting me as one of your guest speakers for this year's Digital Transformation Forum. As you may know, this is my buzz phrase. Apart from financial inclusion, digital transformation is what fuels me to do what I do every day. I am honored to be amongst fellow thought leaders, innovators, and reputable industry experts here who each bring to the table their own invaluable insights and expertise of where the Philippines' digital economy is heading. In the ever-evolving landscape of fintech, it is important to regularly tune in on what's been working, what hasn't, and what we can improve on moving forward. As I take just a quick look around this room, I can see your faces listening to me at the present, but I can bet that many of your minds are wandering off to the future. Don't worry, no judgment. It's human nature to always wonder and look towards what's ahead. It's humanity's survival mechanism. What I am eating later, what time do I have to be there, what's on my agenda tomorrow, what do I have to prepare? Our minds' gears are always turning. In this industry, it's the same. We are always thinking of what we can achieve in the future. How do we accomplish progress, growth, and development? Our efforts all point to building the unforeseeable future. We rely on trends, predictive analytics, reports, and forecasts to guide our direction. The present is crucial because the future is the end goal. To navigate the complexities of digital transformation in our industries, it is first necessary to take an overarching snapshot of the state of Philippine fintech, the realities, challenges, achievements, and opportunities for improvement. Understanding our target market and the pain points of the underserved and unbanked Filipinos we intend to serve is key in fostering digital transformation and financial inclusion. Just this month, the Philippines stepped into the spotlight with the grand exhibit of Bagong Pilipinas, the Philippines Country Pavilion, at the Singapore FinTech Festival, regarded as one of the world's most influential fintech events. In fact, it was attended by over 70,000 participants from 150 countries. We had the opportunity to demonstrate Filipino skills, talents, and ingenuity, and also highlight the country as a bright spot for digitalization and finance on the global stage. Our dream future is hope, H-O-P-E. We need to be hands-on, open, persistent, and empathetic. To be hands-on requires on-the-ground immersion and first-hand discoveries, getting down to the nitty-gritty and the realities of the world, no matter how harsh they may be. To ensure that our innovations will bear a positive impact on communities, we must listen and they must feel heard. When we connect, they cooperate. When we communicate, they trust. In the Philippines, we have always struggled with a severely underserved Filipino adult population. Several geographically disadvantaged regions, conflict areas, and low-income rural communities have little to no access to the internet, financial literacy, and even basic financial services. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas reported that the number of unbanked Filipino adults in 2019 was 71% of the total adult population. This urged the BSP to craft the national strategy for financial inclusion and the digital payments transformation roadmap, which has twin targets to onboard 70% of our adult Filipinos into the formal banking system and convert 50% of retail financial transactions to digital by end of this year. The good news is that we are set to surpass these targets by the end of 2023. And thanks to the entire ecosystem of industry players. In just 2 years, fintech saw a significant boom. According to a study by McKinsey, the rate of account ownership climbed exponentially to 56% in 2021 from just 29% in 2019. This means we banked over 17 million Filipinos. The Philippines has one of the fastest population growth rates worldwide, and the bankable population is projected to rise from 65 million in 2022 to about 85 million by 2030, and that is about a 30% increase. The number of digital retail payments also surged from 30% in 2021 to 42% in 2022. In fact, 6 out of 10 Filipinos altered their behaviors in the past 3 years to integrate digital services into their lives. Next, we must capitalize on being open-minded, open to every challenge as an opportunity for growth, and always open to collaborate. The present and future of fintech is largely built by prioritizing public infrastructure through government collaborations and expanding our digital services to appease the ever-evolving, hyper-specific needs of our countrymen. The current administration has made digital infrastructure a top priority, and President Marcos Jr. certified key legislative bills in digitalization as urgent, such as the Open Access in Data Transmission Act, Internet Transaction Act, E-Governance, and Critical Information Infrastructure Act to improve digital accessibility, governance, and cybersecurity. This year, we have proudly released the annual FinTech Philippines Report 2023. It is a prized resource material of even legislators, policymakers, academe, researchers, investors, and foreign missions in the country. It captures the evolution of the country's fintech industry and the impact of the individual and collective activities of all players have on the lives and dreams of Filipinos. According to this report, the Philippines is seeing substantial growth in banking and connectivity. From 2022, we've already seen a 9.2% increase in deposit accounts, which stands at 93.2 million, and 41 million active e-money accounts. This is good news, and we know that Filipinos are never without their smartphones, Facebook accounts, and even, of course, TikTok dances now. We have the most number of TikTok accounts in the Philippines or in the region right now, or in the world practically. And of course, you can now also make payments via TikTok, by the way. But unfortunately, for markets such as Indonesia, they actually banned the use of payments via TikTok. And most likely, Philippines and other markets in the ASEAN region would follow suit. So we tap into this behavioral fact. Smartphones have penetrated 85% of the population, with about 97.5% of them mobile broadband connection users. That's about 84.75 million internet users and counting. Through the National Economic Development Authority, or through their National Economic Development Plan, the Securities and Exchange Commission, of course, together with the BSP, the government has achieved its fintech targets, which is 5 years in advance. We now have 285 fintechs as of 2023. This feat is a testament to the collaborative efforts of stakeholders across the financial ecosystem. We have also remained persistent. Hurdles are inevitable and roadblocks are expected. But we must power through because the global and Philippine outlook are both promising. Digital banks and digital-centric apps are being used by 38% of the population for online payments, 21% use them for lending, 11% for remittance, and 9% for e-wallets. With these statistics, we have a better grasp of what matters to most Filipinos and their banking priorities. Listening to our audience is key in improving our services. The future involves cultivating a digital financial ecosystem that's robust and dynamic and built on innovation. Regulators in the Philippines are laying the groundwork for digital-first business models, introducing new digital banking licenses, creating real-time payment systems, and establishing a standardized QR code payment network, which is called QRPH. Updated eKYC, digital identification, and verification are also enforced for digital banks, and this is for better safety and security during the customer onboarding process. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, during the first Cashless Expo, together with the DTI and the BSP, they introduced a campaign for interoperable payments called Scan na All. Scan na All. Oo, mahirap lang pag naging scam na all. Oo, di ba? So, scan na all because that is part of the education amongst Filipinos that you could actually make use of your any bank or e-wallet app to scan any QR. Kasi the idea before is that once they see a GCash QR in any merchant, ang isipin ng tao, nung customer, dapat I have to have a GCash account as well. Hindi siya pwedeng GCash to GCash lang. So it's actually GCash to any or any to GCash. So practically it's interoperable. You may have a rural bank app, and you could actually scan a Maya app, a Maya QR, a GCash QR, an RCBC QR, a BPI QR, a Metrobank QR, etc. etc. Kaya ang campaign ngayon is scan na all. Okay. As I've said, wag naman sanang maraming scam na all. Again, transactions through the BSP's InstaPay and PesoNet gateways have significantly increased by the end of September 2023 with a 30% rise in transaction value reaching about 9.2 trillion pesos and a 40.5% increase in transaction volume totaling 638 million transactions from January to September this year. The fintech market is expected to grow by $44 billion by 2024. And the Philippine government has been beefing up its investments into digital to transform the country into a digital hotspot. In his second State of the Nation address, or SONA, by President Marcos Jr., he mentioned that the digital economy generated about 2 trillion pesos, which is about a tenth of the country's GDP. The fintech industry is forecast to continuously grow as the Philippines aims to be a $1 trillion economy by 2033. And this is a study according to S&P Global Market Intelligence. And at the end of the day, progress and hope is nothing without its last letter, and that is E for empathy. Technology is a transformation driver. If leveraged well and ethically, it creates empathy-driven and human-centric solutions. We must continue to solicit feedback from partners and valuable clients to sharpen our approaches and ensure that they are relevant to the concerns and lifestyles of the market. At RCBC, we prioritize delivering innovations with empathy. And from there, RCBC's hypergrowth became one for the books. We leapfrogged from being 8th in ranking in terms of assets among privately held unibanks in 2018 to 5th by end of 2022. We did it in barely 4 years and at the height of the pandemic. Our assets grew 23% to over $29 billion and our net income soared by 71% to $294 million. We have also seen an 8% increase in loans and a 28% increase in deposits. Of course, we have also found, during the pandemic, at the height of the lockdowns, we are the only organization that has actually seen an investment coming from Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, or SMBC, having 20% equity shareholdings into RCBC that translates to about $428 million. And in fact, that was the biggest announcement made, or a PR coup made during the Singapore FinTech Festival during last year's event. So we have garnered global recognition by prestigious award-giving bodies. And among the greatest accolades RCBC bagged this year is the Best Bank for Digital by Asia Money for the 4th consecutive year. Asia Money said in a statement, and I quote, "When it comes to digital solutions, RCBC remains the bank to beat," unquote. We have also received the Eye on Innovation Award by Gartner, YouTube Challenger Award for our viral and out-of-the-box digital ad campaigns, generating combined views of over 17 million in over a couple of days. Grand Champion for Digital Payments and Financial Inclusion by the Bankers Institute of the Philippines, or BIFIL, and triple wins in our marketing efforts in the recent Bank Marketing Association of the Philippines Awards, and ranked #1 in the Philippines Best Customer Service 2023 survey by the Philippine Daily Inquirer and global research firm Statista. These are just a few of over 100 local, regional, and global awards we reaped in the last 4 years. We built digital platforms for a wide range of customers. Empathy means considering the needs, pain points, and desires of the people you serve in order to uplift and empower their lives as best as you can. First, we have RCBC Pulse, RCBC's primary banking app, launched just this year, and it is our one-stop shop, all-in-one digital banking app that offers the widest range of digital services, such as the country's first digital in-app UITF, where you can manage and place new investments within the app, mobile check deposit, foreign exchange for 6 major foreign currencies in real time, spend analyzer, and coming very soon are actually loans. In fact, we're also the first bank to allow our 12 million overseas Filipino workers to open RCBC Pulse accounts anywhere they are in the world using the international mobile numbers. So it even allows digital account opening, as I've said, by our OFWs. In fact, we just launched that about 2 days ago. And again, this is more about hyper-personalized initiative in terms of offering our respective customers. RCBC Discartech is the world's first multilingual financial inclusion super app in the vernacular Tagalog, English, or Taglish, and Cebuano languages that makes financial services such as savings, fund transfers, telemedicine, and insurance and loans accessible to more Filipinos. And of course, it holds a very competitive annual savings rate of 6.5%. And by the way, starting December, of course, 12/12, iba yung 12/12 namin hindi sale. 12/12 because we will be waiving the InstaPay fees. Yay, 12/12. So 12/12, we will be waiving InstaPay fees for transfers 1,000 and below. So yung magpapa-aginaldo, wala na silang additional InstaPay fees. Oo. So sakto, buong-buo makukuha ng mga inaanak niyo 1,000 pesos. Anyway, so and these are some of the things that we've been doing, by the way, and this, in fact, we grew this Discartech volume by as much as 245% year-on-year based on our gross transaction value. And we also delivered RCBC ATM Go, the Philippines' first bank-agnostic, last-mile and grassroots-oriented mobile point-of-service ATM service to Filipinos in need of basic financial assistance. ATM Go is conveniently located in community hotspots like mga palengke, sari-sari stores, transportation hubs, drugstores, even co-ops and rural banks. And RCBC is the only private uni-bank in the Philippines with 100% coverage of all the provinces nationwide, 96% coverage of all cities, and 51% coverage of all municipalities. And take note that by next year, we will be covering 100% of all cities and 100% of all municipalities. And in fact, we have grown the number of terminals deployed by as much as 700% by end of this year versus last year. In fact, we have also rolled out the terminal in Turtle Island, which is the southwestern tip of the Philippines. And that is it will only take you 30 minutes by boat to go to Sabah, Malaysia. Yeah, and then another one is in Pag-asa in Babuyan Islands, which will take you about 45 minutes to Taiwan. So we are the first bank to have those services for our people in those areas. And again, 96% of ATM Go transactions are outside the Philippines National Capital Region, 65% are rural women users, and 61% are transactions for government's Social Amelioration Program or CCT or Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. And ATM Go is enabling millions of Filipinos to receive government payments and assistance easily. During the pandemic, we disbursed over 21 billion pesos to 5.6 million families, and that is approximately 28 million individuals. ATM Go terminals are also strategically stationed in geographically isolated, disadvantaged, and conflict areas, such as in Busuanga, Coron, Culion in Palawan Province, and armed conflict areas such as in Lake Cebu in South Cotabato in Region 12. And of course, we're the only bank that is also present across all the 5 provinces in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. For SME owners and entrepreneurs, we unveiled just this month what we call RCBC BOSS. In fact, dati to RCBC BOSS, BOSS. Nag-file na complaint si Yugo Boss. Kaya ginawa namin, ayaw nyo, sige, boss na lang, BOZ. So pumayag na sila. Kasi Z is also Gen Zenners, di ba? Gen Z. That's why our other app is called RCBC Pulse with a Z. To make all our apps awesome, di ba? So it is our newest all-in app for small business owners where they can prepare e-invoices, manage payroll, set budget, financial goals, and do fund management all in one app. And of course, we have seen the growth of RCBC. In fact, the 7-year compounded annual growth rate of all our products have recorded about 113% for RCBC Pulse and 86% for RCBC ATM Go. And just to give you a concluding statement about my presentation this afternoon, our main thrust as a financial institution is banking with a heart and delivering digital forward services in innovative products that cater to the specific needs and struggles of our kababayan. Again, let me state this: combining the power of revolutionary digital solutions and meaningful human relationships is the future of fintech. To allow a digital forward, cash-light country to flourish, the industry must be focused on creating pioneering, high-impact, and human-centric digital financial innovations. Again, to everyone here this afternoon, let us remember that the future is built on HOPE, hope. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you very much for sharing all of that. That was a lot to unpack.
Thank you so much, Jing and Ben, and of course, our honored guests, Mr. Lito Villanueva and Mr. Marlon Sorongon, for such a very fruitful discussion. Katulad nga ng sinabi nila, The Fourth, malayo na ang narating ng fintech sa atin, pero malayo pa ang tatahakin.
Pero like was mentioned earlier, there is hope, especially with we have people staying with us to listen and to share and to be able to know more about the next steps that we can take with the outlook toward 2024.
With this Blake and this token, our chairman and CEO and our president and COO, thank you for rounding off and completing our talks on digital transformation with an outlook on 2024.
So again, thank you Maybank CISO Marlon Sorongon and RCBC Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer Lito Villanueva.